Oh, hello, I'm Jack, and welcome to the second of 3 videos on our recent trip all the way around Morocco. So, big day today because we're going from Fez over the Middle Atlas all the way to the desert. So that's a 9-hour trip. It sounds a lot, but it was actually an epic journey. Start off in this town where very nice, you can see all the kind of autumn colours, but it's very nice because the king's got a palace there, so that was good, but not as good as monkeys. We absolutely loved the monkeys. So we left the monkeys behind, and you can see as we get higher and higher it gets more and more wintry, but you know what, people live up here. Look at this, you know, where you can see the little kind of habitation kind of going along there. The landscape starting to get pretty bleak. This is the Middle Atlas. I think we can start to see the high atlases in the distance. Here's our bus, yes, which Mohammed's been driving, and here's Larchin showing us those mountains. And that range really is quite magnificent, but we didn't go right over those, went to one side, so we missed the snow. It must be pretty tough living out here. I mean, look at these little towns and what have you. But here's Paulina and Alan, because we stopped off at the gorge, and that was good. This is the gorge.
It's 260 kilometers.
260 kilometers.
Yeah.
Look at that. And there's our road. Yeah, and then there's Hannah and Heather, Lucy and Tony and Larchin. Larchin looking very handsome, I think, in this photograph, or cool, depending on your point of view. Pretty arid stuff now. But it's the route of 1,000 Casbahs, I think. So what you have is you have this river going along, and where the river is, you get palm trees and civilization. Go all the way through the desert. And Lucy's deliriously happy about that because we've got some dates and shared them out. You can see a mosque that's been rebuilt here, so it was quite tough going for them. But we were getting to our desert camp quite late, and by the time we got there, it was getting quite dark. So we had a delicious meal, yes, a delicious meal. And somebody taught me how to do slow motion on my camera. Here we are. So next morning, the big thing, get up before dawn because we want to see the sunrise. And we saw camels. If you thought monkeys were exciting, camels, well, they're just wildly exciting. Very happy about that. Very happy about the sunrise. Paulina loves the sunrise. The camel, yes, delirious. And this is where we were staying. This video show the rally driving we're doing, and back off against the desert. We'll stop it off to listen to some music. Musicians were pretty good, but they didn't know that we had some championship winning Scottish dancers with us. Not just dancers, but drummers as well. So that was very good. And we got to this kind of hotel where we weren't staying. We were just going to kind of relax there. But I couldn't relax because I had a bad tummy. But fortunately, my bacon was saved. Thank you for that, Imodium.
It's a pleasure.
Oh, saved my life. So there's my fine camel. I took the calculated risk of going out into the desert with a dodgy tummy. It could have been disastrous, but it wasn't. And you got a lot of shots now, which are kind of standard tourist shots of being on a camel in the desert. But you know what? It was great. Absolute fun. You had to get used to being on a camel. You had to be used to being in a procession. The shadows were just fantastic. You do see photographs from the desert of the camel, and that's just great. Yeah, just great. Look at this just kind of misting away, and here's our train going along, and then yes, good photographs. We love posing for photographs. People are all getting off then to see the sunset. Here's Hannah, and here's me, and here's Larchin, yeah, getting the sun just going down, and then And then if you get it right, all the shadows on the dunes. So that was quite something. We have a group photograph, and then look at these. We love posing for silly photographs. People, it's like blast off time. Yeah, so all very pleased. I got away with my calculated risk, and then came back to our tent village, which is where we were staying. And I think in some of these photographs, you can see the stars were starting to get up in the sky. We had a very nice time in our tent, a lovely meal, and the braver among us went off to the campfire in the evening. So to bed, you can see the stars, and later on in the night, you can see the moon. I wasn't so sure about this second trip, but it turned out to be absolutely fantastic. We got on our camel, and you could not see a thing, not even the camel's head. So you're kind of going along, and it got lighter, but it got lighter not because of the sun, but because of the moon. We had a magnificent full moon that was setting. Yeah, so we had the full moon in front of us, and as that went down, the sun started to come up from behind us. So we had this kind of 180 kind of view. It was absolutely fantastic. We got to where we wanted to get to, all got off the camels, getting very fond of our camels now. Yes, look at this, yes. Camel and a human in perfect harmony. So we all loved that. Stood on a dune and waited for the sun to come up. And yes, it did. And then we went home and we were very happy. But I need to emphasize that although it's kind of touristy photographs, going through the desert on a camel by moonlight was for me the highlight of the whole holiday. Absolutely fantastic. Next day, well, we got a shorter drive and we stopped off at a fossil factory. Look at this. Yes, they kind of buy sheets of rock and then kind of polish them up. I think we're still on this route of 1,000 Casbahs, and it's quite something really. You can see the barrenness, you can see the palm trees down by the river, you can see the civilization, the new houses and the old look really kind of freaky, as if they're kind of melting away. So that was quite a sight. Also quite a sight was this gorge. Yes, we got there about 4 o'clock, shadows starting to fall, really very, very narrow, quite a sight. Tudra Gorge, absolutely amazing. Going to go up here. Look at that. It's as much as the camera can do. Anna and Hannah, yes, there they are. They're very happy. And as for these two, you know what Oscar Wilde said? It's disgusting the number of men that are in love with their wives. Well, I will say no more. I will say no. So you go past dusty villages, but you do also come across the palm trees looking really, really good. So it's a tough existence out there, not impossible. But having said thank you to Lucy, I now needed to say thank you to Marion. Thank you for saving my life.
Yes, you definitely owe me one.
So next day we went off into the local market to buy our grub for the day, but I don't think we should have bothered because Larcham went off and bought, it's not quite Pizza Hut, but he bought this bread, this pizza type bread. It's absolutely gorgeous. Then we kind of walk through the local village. Yes, we do see guys with getting olives. This is our guide here with the water, and we kind of follow a trail one. I don't know if this is a Casbah, but look, you get the idea of the buildings kind of collapsing on themselves. Lovely group photographs going across riverbanks, old towns in the distance, the hills, the forts. Very enjoyable 4 hours. This is a museum. Yes, a museum with nothing in it. It was meant for fossils, but I think somebody took all the fossils away. You see a little mule train. We followed the mule train, and when you're down the bottom by the river, you get some really quite lush places. Very, very nice indeed. And we stopped off for a picnic. There were rivers to ford. And who's this old boffer trying to go? Hang on a sec, that's me. Yes, so we carry on round in a big circular route back into town, looking very happy and majestic, and then go off and relax by the pool. And guess what? We had a meal, and we were accompanied by these talented musicians, and they all looked quite serious. But once again, our championship-winning Scottish dancers took control, and it was all very, very good indeed. Okay, so now we've got a drive. We're going to go off to these famous tourist places. The first one, I think, was hit by an earthquake. You're not allowed in there, but it's pretty magnifico. The second one was absolutely magnifico. And it's kind of guarding the river, guarding where the camels come as they go down from Timbuktu to Marrakesh. So in a really, really strategic area. A great shot here of the kind of crumbling houses and the Casbahs. It was also where Gladiator was filmed, the kind of first Gladiator scene. Okay, so we're halfway up the Casbah. There's the road from Timbuktu to Marrakesh, 55 days. And this place is guarding it. Quite amazing. Not just Gladiator, but Raiders of the Lost Ark and all sorts of Lawrence of Arabia and all sorts of other films. We had various things explained to us.
4 towers is a Casbah, and more than 4 towers is a Casa. Well, that explains that.
And I really like this carpet, but perhaps overdid it a little bit. You can see the Atlas Mountains in the background, an old boy playing. Here's our guide. Yes, that was very, very nice. And all the girls got very excited by this handsome young man.
Yeah. Oh, look at that. Wow. Wow.
That is impressive.
Very.
And his sales spiel worked, and they went off and rushed and bought all his pictures. So that was quite something, I think, in terms of a strategic town overlooking a river, overlooking the main kind of camel route in. This is now Indiana Jones we have here. Yes, he's changed now. And then we got back in the coach and kind of carried on. And you see the same thing. You see the towns and the rivers and the palm trees.
So this gorge is just amazing. Going through the desert, it's like a narrow, low-down gorge. And then you come out here, and off it goes, and you see the kind of village has been destroyed by the earthquake. Amazing.
And eventually we got to where we were going, right up high, and I got a mule for carrying our stuff. And we strolled down the path to Riyadh, and it's the one on the kind of left-hand side with white windows. We had a great time there. We had adventures, but you'll have to watch the third video to see what happened. Okay, well, that's about it. I hope you enjoyed it, and thank you very much for watching. Bye-bye. Bye-bye.